Welcome to the Brandon and Ryan Hour, the show for movies, television, entertainment reviews, and commentary. I'm Brandon.
And I'm Ryan. And today is our off topic discussions, and we are covering the tie in episode for Invincible called Adam Eve, all about the super heroine Adam Eve. So it looks like this one was put out recently in July 2023, kind of as a stopgap in between the first season of Invincible and the second season, which comes out in November, I think.
Yeah, it's called a special prequel episode, so
Okay.
I don't know. I think I'm not sure about the whole Invincible series because I didn't watch the first season.
Okay.
I wasn't sure if it was a spin-off that they were gonna do for Adam Eve or I don't know what the plan is for that.
Well, Adam Eve is a fairly well established character in the Invincible lore. Um,
So
so
she was in the first season.
she was in a lot of the first season.
Okay. So this is
So this was just going back and telling her backstory.
okay.
So yeah, and for those of you guys watching, we do have these discussions in depth, spoiler filled, you may say. So, what do you mean no? That's exactly what we do. So make sure that you've watched this or watched the show and come join us in the discussion. So, what did you think of it?
Well, not having any. I think I'd seen like a preview of Invincible or something from the season, but I didn't really know a whole lot other than um, the guy that seemed to be the main superhero is also J. Jonah Jameson from Spider-Man.
Okay.
Other than that, I don't know anything about the show or about the series, but
Yeah, so he's not the main
so
superhero. The main superhero is actually his kid, who goes by the moniker Invincible. But continue.
okay, it's fantastic. Anyway, it like I said, didn't know anything going into it, so I was just following the story, and actually, it's a really good story. The the it's compelling story. Action is good. The violence is cool. Um, Interesting take on, I guess, superpowers, sort of. Kind of a
Okay.
bit of definitely some things that they took from DC,
Oh yeah.
uh, which they kind of do it on purpose and with like a wink and a nod.
Yeah.
Like, what is it called? The Guardians of the
Guardians of the
Globe.
Globe. Yep.
They took like Guardians of the Galaxy and oh, now my mind went blank. What?
Justice League.
Yeah. What's the other one? Isn't there another superhero league?
Uh,
Um,
from which company?
I don't remember.
So, I mean,
There's the Justice League.
DC
And then
has
there's
Justice League. They also have the Justice Society.
yeah,
Um,
I think that's what I was thinking of.
okay, all right.
But anyway, the Guardians of the Globe. I was like, okay, that's hilarious, but the Globe, really, the Globe,
Yeah, the
kind of
Globe.
dumb. But okay.
Yeah.
But it was funny. The lizards. I don't know why, but they cracked me up. The lizard people or the lizard gang. I don't know, but they were funny.
Okay.
And the show, um, so there's good comedy, good action, good artwork, um, good plot, good storytelling. It Interesting story. I tried not to. I don't know. There wasn't a whole lot that not annoyed me about it, but not a whole lot that I could be like, I don't think that was very good, or I don't know. What about you?
So it's definitely not as good as the first season of Invincible. Um, like it's still the same animation style, but I don't know, the story in the first season of Invincible was much better, and
Oh, really?
yeah. So seeing Adam Eve as a teenage superhero made
I
a whole
see.
lot more sense than going back and watching how she got her powers.
Oh, so in the show, she's a teenager.
Yeah.
Okay, because this
So
is the Adam Eve is preteen.
yeah. So I mean, it answers questions like how did she get her powers and whatnot, but overall, it's not a bad episode or bad special, whatever you want to call it. It just doesn't live up to the first season. So from that perspective, it's a little bit of a letdown.
Hmm. Okay, that's interesting. So I don't know, because I'm coming at it not having seen the first season. It's
Hmm.
like, but this show has me intrigued. It makes me want to go watch this season. 'Cause I don't think. I mean, so if you haven't seen, so I guess okay. So the full season is a step up
Yeah,
storytelling or what?
I mean storytelling. Like in here, the action was good, or the violence that you said,
Mm-hmm.
but it's 5, 10 times amplified in the actual show.
Well, she's a teenager or a
Right.
preteen. She's a little
Okay.
girl.
Right. But I'm just saying,
So I don't
like,
think she's gonna be flying around ripping people's spines out.
uh,
Because it says it's graphic, and I think it says it's like NC-17 or something like that. Um, I forget what the rating was. I think maybe was it plus 16, plus 18? I don't
I don't
remember.
remember.
Um, but I mean, it's graphic, but not. I guess
Overly gory.
yeah, not overly gory or like on the verge of like pornographic violence,
Okay.
where it's
Yeah.
just gratuitous for no reason. Just you know, 30 gallons of blood squirts out of somebody for because he got his head chopped off.
Yeah. But I mean, I agree with you. The story was good. Um, yeah. That's
Okay. Like
that's about all I
so
got.
I guess I don't know. I try not to critique it. I'm just trying to like judge it based on what it is.
Hmm.
Um but like from my perspective, the main villain in this Adam Eve episode is the dad.
I mean, I think the government is the main villain, but okay.
Mm, but they're not even in it but like 5 minutes.
Okay. But yeah, I mean, I'd agree with you that the dad is an antagonist, but he's not a villain.
No, I think he is.
Okay.
I think because he's a horrible father.
I mean, you're not wrong. He is a horrible father.
Yeah. It's like he's the reason why she is the way she is. Not that I don't know what she becomes in the show, but like in the series.
Hmm.
But in this episode, like she's um uh like a disenfranchised kid.
Hmm.
She has no one that she can relate to or confide in or just be happy with. The mom seems to be wishy washy on that.
Yeah.
Um, I don't like the whole thing is like, okay, if I thought my kid died at birth and then they were like, hey, your
Hey,
baby's alive,
yeah,
like you're gonna be like all over this kid, like not being like, oh, I don't know why she just plays with Legos. It doesn't play with her other toys. That pisses me off. Just buy her Legos. Shut up.
right.
Like some of this, like it's like okay, that's why he's like to me the main villain.
Okay.
Um,
But yeah, I mean, he is absolutely a terrible, terrible father, and
mhm,
you kind of see that in the main series or main season,
okay.
but I don't know. It seems more understandable because at that point she is a full blown teen hero, and he knows the danger she's in. So when he gets angry, it's because he doesn't get as angry in the show as he
So
does in
they
this
find
one.
out about the superpowers.
Yeah, like she's been a hero for like 2 or 3 years, and they know about it.
Okay.
Um, but like he's much angrier here than he was in the actual show, which was odd.
Okay.
But
But
in the
that's okay.
show, it seems like he's more concerned when he gets upset. But here, he just seemed upset for the sake of being
Like a jerk.
upset. Right?
Yeah. Okay. Um, she screw with his brain.
No.
Okay. Just curious. The powers is interesting. Um, she can manipulate molecular structure of things and change it. And
Yeah.
apparently she can make really good food out of other food.
Apparently so. Yeah.
Like what was that? Like an olive and
Olive
something
and cream
sandwich?
cheese sandwich. I
Yeah,
think it was
sounded
cream
just
cheese. And I'm like,
awful.
who would eat that?
What is that? And she turned it into a
And she's
burger, and
like,
then
"Ooh,
she's
I'm
like,
gonna make it a
"Ooh,
hamburger."
yeah." It's like nice. Wish I could do that with vegetables. Just turn them into meat.
Yeah. But it seems like her powers in this show are kind of a cross between Molecule Man from um, Marvel Comics and Green Lantern from DC Comics because they give her a
Mm,
lot of. It looks like light-based powers, like she's making shields and
yeah,
walls and whatnot.
walls and different constructs.
Yeah, just
Mostly
out of
flat constructs, though.
yeah,
Nothing complex that like yeah, nothing super complex like the Flash does with guns and bombs and crap.
the Flash doesn't
Not
do
the
anything
Flash, the
like
Green
that.
Lantern. Yeah, I
Okay,
don't know why I said
in
Flash.
comic books, Green Lantern doesn't make bombs and stuff either, but they've changed it since he went live action.
No, because not live action, but like not the movies or whatever, but like the cartoons, he did stuff like that.
Yeah, but
Okay,
comic books, he doesn't do that, or he didn't.
I'm not talking about comic books.
Okay,
I'm talking about cartoon TV shows.
okay,
Any who, um, it seemed okay. So I guess like the only person in the show that was actually cool was the babysitter.
yeah. Like he was
He
all
was
excited. He was like, yeah,
he's
"You're
super excited.
super smart."
I'm like, why doesn't he come back? Like, seems like he would be like her older friend,
hmm
because he's all super excited about it. But then like her real friend is like, you're weirder than I. You're some kind of weird that's too weird for me.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go now.
I don't know. Like if my one of my friends showed up and they were like, "Hey, I've got superpowers," I'd be pretty stoked for him, pretty excited.
Right.
Not be like, "Hey, get away from me, you freaking weirdo."
Yeah. But I think that's the. I think because I thought about that, I was like, if that was like me and my friend when we were like 8 years old, I'd be like, dude, we gotta go do stuff right now. We gotta go mess with some stuff.
Yeah,
But I think because they're girls, I don't think girls would act like that. I don't think girls would be like, "Oh, this is super cool. Let's go do weird stuff." So I think they did that, you know, as two girls.
I guess I can see that. Yeah.
Yeah. But I guess when she starts transitioning into the superhero, that's when it's like she's girly, but like she's acting how a boy would act.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think a boy would go fight crime, whereas I think a girl would go like help with like disasters or feeding people or natural things like that. I don't think
Okay.
they'd be like, oh, there's a bank robbery. Let me go stop the bank robbers.
Yeah, but also in this world that's been created, there are already superheroes, including female superheroes. So I think it would also be. I can see how somebody would idolize real life superheroes and think, hey, I can grow up to be just like them, and then, ooh, I have superpowers. I've seen other
Mm,
women go fight crime. I'm going to do the same thing.
maybe. Yeah, because they didn't show anybody else except for the very beginning
Right.
when yeah. So I kind of forgot about all the other superheroes. But yeah, that makes sense. So she would have um like a Wonder Woman type character to look up to.
Right.
Okay. Okay. Cuz yeah, cuz I did remember like yeah. So I was watching it and you see all the heroes and the lizards up front fighting
Hmm.
and then they go to the hospital and then you never see anybody else with powers
Yeah.
except for Adam or except for Eve. Um and
You do see
I think
that
they mention him a
cyborg
few
guy.
times.
Do what?
Yeah, I didn't. I just figured he was like an enhanced human or something.
Yeah, I
I
don't think
didn't.
he had superpowers, but
Okay.
what I think his name was Kill Cannon. But yeah, so
Yes. Yeah. It's a cool name.
it is, yeah.
Um.
But yeah, you don't see anybody show up with superpowers the rest of the show.
Yeah. So yeah. So I was like, okay, where did all the other superheroes go? You think they would know about her if the government does?
Okay.
And then, um. So I didn't know if like something happened to them, or if they were in hiding, or they all died. I don't know. So I was like, okay, I guess they just not here until the very end, which I don't know. We can talk about, it. But what was the other? So she, mm, yeah. So her power is she can manipulate molecules, but then she tried to change the squirrel into a
Into
dog,
a dog, yeah, and it didn't
and
work.
it wouldn't work. And I was like, yeah, I was like, okay, so she can't do. So she probably can't do anything that's. Um, my assumption was anything that was living.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I guess he just the doctor guy. Okay, the doctor guy.
Mm-hmm.
At the very beginning, um, he's talking to her mom,
Yeah.
and I was like, Dale? No, not Dale. Dang it. Um, what's his name?
I
Dang
don't
it.
know. I have no idea who
Um,
you're talking about.
yeah, you do. Hold on.
Okay, yeah, I'll just hold on and wait. That's
Just
cool.
hold on. Just hold your horses. Don't even worry about it.
Okay,
Just
yeah, my
chill out.
horses are being held. I'm waiting in anticipation.
Good, 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 good. Let me find it. Um, why can't I find it?
I
Bill.
don't know.
I was like, is that Bill?
Who's
Bill
Bill?
Dotree from King of the Hill.
Uh, okay.
You've never seen King of the Hill?
I've
You've
seen King of
had to
the
have.
Hill,
Okay.
but I've never watched like every single episode. I've caught episodes here and there.
Okay. Anyway, it sounded just like Bill. And I was like, wait a minute, what? But then it goes on, and he doesn't keep that like Southern accent kind of thing that he or Louisiana accent, but it still sounds like him. And I was like, that's hilarious. Sounds like Bill. This is just cracking me up. But
Okay.
um, anyway, uh, so so he put a mental block in her so she couldn't transform or couldn't manipulate people or animals.
Yeah.
Okay, was,
And I
I don't
mean
know.
that's the same thing that Molecule Man from Marvel Comics. Like he can do all kinds of manipulation on things that aren't alive, but
Okay,
he can't control or he can't change something that's living.
okay.
And
Is it
it,
mental or is it just?
it is mental. So in the Secret Wars comic books,
Mhm.
the Beyonder removes that mental block from him, and then he becomes way too super powerful. So
Yeah, because like then you're like, um, I don't know. You're the Uber um, mutant or powered person at that point
yeah,
because nobody could do anything to you,
right.
which is crazy to think about.
Mm-hmm.
Because like everybody's like, okay, Superman is overpowered, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then they have this, and you're like, she could just turn Superman into a bowl of Jello.
Right. Exactly.
So they'd have to put some other kind of limit
Mm-hmm.
on her powers based on the individual,
Right.
right? It's like with the Flash and Superman, the Flash is like nobody can catch me, and then Superman can catch him because he's also super fast. And presumably, yeah. So anyway, yeah. So presumably, there's some kind of character that they can or quality that they can give other characters to make them immune to it.
Immune to her powers. Right. You
Yeah.
would think so.
Either that, yeah, because then you become uncontrollable.
Mm-hmm.
Because you have to give someone with that much power kryptonite.
Yeah. Some kind of Achilles heel.
Yeah.
Yep.
Um, I don't know. I guess at the end she ends up going like Super Saiyan
Mm-hmm.
and healing all of her wounds. She's like gets the crap beat out of her, and then she heals all of her wounds, and she doesn't like obliterate them or turn them into something else. She just erases their
Messes with her
memories.
minds. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just an interesting way to go about it,
Mm-hmm.
and it kind of seems like something a girl would do.
Yeah. Just hey, forget you ever heard about me. Yeah.
Yeah, like a boy or a man would either turn them into some inanimate object or into like a frog and keep it as a pet, right?
Okay. Yeah, I guess that's fair.
Yeah, like especially like a 12-year-old kid, they would probably turn it into you know a snake and
Mm-hmm.
right something that fits the evil thing, and then take it home and have a pet and yeah. um um the family thing was weird. The other four mutants or
Oh,
test subjects.
yeah. So the failed experiments, yeah, that was
Yeah,
kind of
yeah,
weird.
yeah, yeah. That's what they kept calling them.
But I
Um,
mean, I guess it kind of makes sense as well because they said that the doctor who left with her or who got her
mm,
out was the main genius behind it, and they couldn't replicate it without him.
which I don't understand because like at the when they leave him in the hospital, like the MPs have him.
Mm-hmm.
Did you like slip out of their custody and become a homeless person?
Yeah, I mean, there's no telling when he left. So, like, he could have gone back to work and, like, 3 weeks later, been like, okay,
Just
now I'm going home and I'm never coming back. And then I'll become
like
homeless.
like the government officials in that cartoon world are not good at tracking people down.
That's for sure. Yeah.
Maybe they should work on their surveillance technology before they start working on their mutant technology.
All right.
um, but they were weird. Like they couldn't. It wasn't just like they were bad at being superheroes or having powers. They were like bad at being um, solid objects.
Yeah.
Which made the fight scenes cool when they exploded or fell apart or whatever.
Yeah.
When the first one fell apart, I was like, "What the frick just happened?" I was like,
Oh
"Oh yeah, this
no.
is an adult cartoon." Like,
This is not for kids. Yeah.
yeah, it was very strange. Um, yeah, it kind of took me, you know, taken aback for a second, and I was like, "Okay." And then the one that talks, he's like, "The others haven't been out of their tubes long enough to
Long enough
learn how
to
to
learn how to
talk,"
talk. Yeah.
and each one gets progressively worse. And I'm
Hmm.
like, if you could make one, like, why couldn't you make the first one again? Like, why do you keep sucking at your job? You'd think either either you get better at your job or you get fired and they
Right.
hire somebody that doesn't
Who's
suck
more
at their
competent?
job.
Right.
Yeah. Like, I will just give we're gonna give this guy 4 chances to make a super powered person. And then after he fails, we'll still keep him around for like 12 years to like make sure they don't die
Yeah.
from being in the air. What?
Yeah.
I think I think you throw those experiments in the fire and you start over.
And start over.
That's
Yeah.
that's where I'm at with that.
But I mean, the fight scenes between all of them were pretty cool.
Yeah, the fight scenes were cool. With yeah, because then she couldn't, or she's getting the crap beat out of herself
Hmm.
with some of her obviously like new at the whole being a superhero and fighting thing because some of her techniques were not very smart.
Right.
It was pretty funny though when the cops like she shows up. There's this little girl and she's like form a perimeter and cordon off the area or whatever.
Yeah.
And the guy's like, are you lost? Something like that,
Yeah.
or tells her to get back or something. Yeah, and then she stops. I don't remember what happened.
She stopped something. And then
Yeah,
he was like, we're going to go form a perimeter. Yeah.
yeah. It's like okay, that's pretty funny. Um. So yeah, that fight scene was cool. He's. I didn't understand the fight scene because it seemed like the government sent them to capture her,
Uh huh.
but
But
they were
what,
gonna kill
phase
her.
two, I think, is what he was called.
Yeah,
Like he just hated her because she was normal and he wasn't.
right,
So he just wanted to kill her.
right. So they're out there just trying to kill her.
Hmm.
This didn't make any sense. But then, like, she ends up like, I don't know, having sympathy for them or maybe some kind of love because they're
Hmm.
family.
Because they're family that she's never met. Yeah.
Yeah, and have been trying to kill her the whole time she did know them, and that she had to kill.
Hmm.
So that's weird sentiment, but it also kind of falls in line with her being a girl that
And
would
not having the best home life, not having somebody who cares about her at home.
not having the family structure that she wants.
Mm-hmm.
So she's my thinking is she's lamenting something with a family that with a second family that she lost that she wanted.
Mm-hmm.
So she's lost two families now, essentially. Um, and then so they have her mom in a tube,
Yeah.
and they've been impregnating this woman
Who's
with these other
basically a vegetable. Yeah.
yeah. Why they needed her, I don't know.
I don't know.
It's kind of creepy,
Yeah.
kind of weird,
I'd say more than just
and
kind of, but yeah,
yeah,
definitely creepy and weird.
yeah. Um, oh, that's what I was thinking. But when when she was fighting her brothers, um, I was like, wait, she has the ability to manipulate atoms. She could heal them. I was like, oh wait, she can't
She can.
manipulate humans.
Yeah.
But if she would have had the mental block, she would have been able to fix them in
Mm-hmm.
theory.
In theory. Yeah.
Same thing with her mom and the doctor. 'Cause
Yeah. She could have been able to save them, but
right. So the military guy shoots him in the head, and he was like, "It was an accident."
didn't mean to kill him. Whoopsie.
Yeah, he was like, it's like you hear the gun go off, and then you see them like look at each other, and he's like, "It was an accident." I was like, scared much?
Yeah. He was definitely terrified.
Yeah. Don't build something you can't control. Um, and then kill its pseudo father and mom and four brothers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't be a jerk.
Don't be a jerk. That's great advice.
That's great advice. Yeah. Yeah. If you're messing with superheroes, don't be a jerk.
Yeah.
Probably get killed or your memory erased.
All right.
The nicest thing she could have done was erase his memory. Like, honestly.
Yeah.
So this falls before the series.
Right.
So the intro is like way before the series.
Mm-hmm.
And then then you have her life, and the heroes are somewhere. So what was the thing at the end?
So the thing at the end, uh, so Omni-Man is kind of like a Superman type hero. And
That's
his
J. Jonah Jameson?
yeah,
Okay.
or his actual name is J.K. Simmons, but whatever.
I mean, it starts with a J.
Yeah. So he's a superhero from another planet, and his kid that you see running in at the end is the person who ends up
The duct tape
the
man.
duct tape man. Yeah. So he ends up becoming Invincible, the main character of the TV show.
Okay. So the Invincible series is like a couple years after this Adam Eve episode.
Yeah. So what? I mean, I think she's like 12 in this.
Mm-hmm.
So if she's 12, I want to say in the show they said she was like 16. So it's like 4 years later.
So 4 years later. Okay. So he's duct tape man.
Mm-hmm.
So what was with the weird face that he made?
Yeah, that's a great question. Maybe you should watch the show and find out.
Fine. We'll have to watch the show, and then I guess we'll have to talk about it on our show.
I mean, that's a possibility. We could always do that.
So when's season 2 supposed to come out?
I want to say it said November.
I think we have time to catch up.
Yep.
Well, for me to catch up, you've already seen it. Is it how many episodes is
Don't remember. That's a great question.
8? What is with the 8 episode series, especially for a cartoon? I guess they're 40, 50-minute cartoons. That's unusual. So I guess it'd be like 16,
16 normal, yeah.
yeah, half-hour shows. Half-hour shows. Okay. Yeah, this one says, okay, so for the Invincible series, it says 18 plus, but for the
Mhm.
Adam Eve episode, it was 16 plus. So 2 more years of gore and violence.
All
Okay,
right, so
interesting.
yeah, it sounds like you kind of enjoyed it, and it piqued your interest, which I'm wondering if that's why they did it.
To get people to go back and watch the first season,
Yeah.
because it's got good reviews on IMDb. It's got a high score, so they're probably just, yeah.
All right, so
And
what would you be your
oh wow,
score
it's
on
been
this
two
episode?
years since it came out.
Has it? Okay.
Yeah, it says 2021.
Nah. All right.
So it's probably to get people like,
Re-interested.
yeah, remind them that it exists.
Okay.
That's that big break. What were you saying about my score?
So what would your score be on this?
Mm, what's your score?
What would my score be? So like I said, I don't think it lived up to the original season.
Okay.
So I'd have to put it somewhere in the neighborhood of like a 6.3. Still
That
good
low?
and still watchable,
Really?
but
Well,
not as good
why?
as
Like,
just because the first season set the bar so high.
the first season's that good where this makes it a 6
I
3?
think so. Yeah.
But the first season being good shouldn't bring this down.
But it does.
Okay. I wonder if it's the same people working on it. I don't know. Anyway,
But I
I
mean
was gonna say, or
it's
go
still a
ahead.
watchable show. I still enjoyed it, just not as much as I did this season. So
Yeah, I mean, uh, I guess if they made this a show, I would probably watch the whole thing.
okay.
Because I don't know, it's kind of something new ish, and it's not as, I don't know. Mm, yeah, it's just something different than I guess I've been watching lately.
Okay.
Um, and kind of interesting to see the. It's gonna come across weird, but female superheroes are not my favorite.
All right.
But this show is an interesting perspective on a female superhero, especially as a child, because most of the superheroes from the start of childhood, like
Mm.
they're all boys.
Yeah.
Some, yeah. But anyway, I'd probably give it like a, I don't know, 7, 8.
Okay. That's a
Yeah,
respectable score.
yeah. I think it's pretty good. Um, it kept me interested the whole time, and um, I guess the I keep coming back to the storytelling part, but the way they told the story and the different all the different ranges of emotions that and things that she goes through are interesting,
Okay.
and it's done well. So
Yeah.
that's where I'm at.
I agree. It was well done
So I
well.
guess we'll have to watch or I guess I'll have to watch, and probably you should rewatch the show, and then we'll do a review on that.
Okay. Yeah, we can do
Cool.
that. And I think that brings us to the end of the review. So if you guys made it this far, make sure to hit that like button. If you feel like it, give us a subscribe so you know when we post new videos. And tell us what you thought of this episode TV special down below, or what you want to see us review in the future.
Yep. And also follow us on Twitter, Rumble, and YouTube. That's it. Later.